This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Stiktamer bow silencers. Are you a traditional archery hunter or shooter? Stiktamer was specifically designed for the recurve shooter. Made of a hybrid foam rubber material, Stiktamer is designed to deaden string slap and limb vibration. Stiktamer reduces limb and string noise, water resistant, and lasts shot after shot. Made in the USA from a hybrid foam rubber for durability. To purchase Stiktamer and for more information, visit threeriversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. Stiktamer bow silencers are available exclusively at threeriversarchery.com and blackwidowbows.com. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of On the Limb podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls. We've got production manager Dave in here tonight. Welcome back, brother.
Welcome me back. Thank you.
Welcome him back once again.
Oh, it's good to be here, Mike.
It is good to be here.
It is.
We missed Dan. Dan's in Missouri, so.
Well, that's part of the reason why it's so good to be here.
Oh, right off the bat.
Boom.
I mean, just blasted him right
Boom.
then.
No, I miss Dan.
You know he would have
Dan's
blasted
my
you
brother.
if he was on here, too.
He would have blasted me.
Yeah, he would have.
And he and I are like we're like siblings that fight over the top bunk kind of thing, you know.
Yep.
This guy.
So we've got a good one planned for you this evening. So we've got Coy Burns. He's owner operator of Stiktamer, and they are sold through a couple different distributors, and we'll talk about those distributors here in a little bit. But Stiktamer was one of our first, actually the first partner we ever had as Nature's Voice Game Calls when we formed the business 13 years ago. So 13, 14 years ago. Next year will be 15 years total. Wow. I've mentioned 2 years after we formed the business, my brother passed away, so we've been running that ever since he passed away to keep it in his memory. So, so we'll talk with Coy here in just a little bit, and we finally got some rain today.
Rain.
I mean, my grass at the house was like
Mine was yellow.
It's like walking on hay.
Yeah,
it crunches.
Yeah,
grass ain't supposed to do that.
Yeah, I saw a roach out there that was like he's like panting for water in my front yard. That's how bad it's been.
You have roaches at your house?
No, it was just a joke.
It's like, I thought you were a pretty clean guy.
It was a joke.
Oh, God. So episode 108 is out right now with Travis Avery from Sawyer Products. Mm-hmm. That was a good episode. And we have one that's airing tomorrow, and it will be... You remember which one it was?
Do I remember which one it was?
Yeah. It was after Travis, obviously. Let me snack on my pepperoni roll here while you try to figure that out.
Oh, my gosh. Man. Yeah, I'm going to lose Final Jeopardy tonight. I don't
know, huh?
You want me to write it down on here and you just tell me if it's right?
No.
Here.
It's funny because during that episode,
here,
Dan. Oh, you did. You did remember.
I got it.
You got it.
I didn't want to say it and sound stupid.
Hunt Chef. Wild flavor segment.
Yeah. I love those segments, man.
I apologize if you can hear me eating my pepperoni roll. West Virginia made pepperoni roll, by the way.
Yeah, nice. I love his segments. Just because, well, number one, he's awesome. Every conversation I've ever had with the man, he's just super positive dude.
He is.
And then the other thing is, like, I love learning how to, well, there's no way I could ever cook like him.
You know why I love him?
Why?
Because he cooks food.
Okay. Huh. All right, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Really?
But dude, honestly, he captured me whenever we were at that fly tying session at the Greenbrier, and he brought in that venison.
Yeah.
And I was like, this isn't venison. You told me it was going to be venison. When I tasted it, I was like, when are they bringing out the venison?
Yeah.
Because it tasted like filet.
Mm-hmm.
Filet mignon is what it tastes like.
Yeah, he seasoned that with his seasonings perfectly. And he was cooking those on a Brio grill, by the way, too. So it was cooked over the fire.
Mm.
Brio grills, 95% less smoke than the normal fire pit.
Yeah.
So you get a little smoke taste to it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just like cooking over a gas grill, really.
Yeah. It was good. So I was like, man, this is my dude. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Super good.
All right, that's enough of talking.
Yeah.
That'll be episode 109. That will be airing in the morning, Hunt Chef Wild Flavor segment. So be sure to tune in.
Yeah, we got to get to our guest.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, or YouTube.
YouTube.
All right, listen, I got to mention again. So 7,000 last week, 14,000 this week. Our goal is to post 2 videos a day.
Okay.
So we've been trying to do that, and it just keeps climbing. So we're in the 70,000 range right now when it comes to reach on YouTube within the last 3 weeks.
Nice.
We've been lighting it up. Ever since we uploaded all of our episodes, which it gave YouTube, our channel, like this big impact all at one time, the influx of all of our episodes.
Yeah.
So 100 and some episodes went into there.
Yeah.
And people's wondering, like, what is this? You know, all the new stuff. So
yeah,
I think it's really good.
That is good.
Anyways, just had to mention that. All right, without further ado, please welcome with me Coy Burns, owner and operator of Stiktamer. Coy, how you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh, man, we're doing awesome. We got you on the show.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So
Hey, you guys talking about food? Now I'm hungry. I'm going to have to let you go. I got to go eat.
Well, see you later.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a West Virginia pepperoni roll?
I have not.
You're on the border there, I think, aren't you? A little bit?
Heck no, we're all the way on the other side of Ohio.
Oh, are you really?
From what I understand, pepperoni rolls are like a West Virginia thing.
It was started here in West Virginia from what I know. I mean, I may not know much. But...
Man, we need to ship him. Are we able to ship him one without it going bad?
Well, we won't talk about things we've shipped to Coy.
Okay, well, then in that case...
I've got a lot of stuff. That's the truth.
Maybe it's just a good excuse for him to come over here.
No, we'll get him a pepperoni roll. These are the ones that's made out of Clarksburg. Can't remember the name of them. I know it's bad, but I don't pay attention.
Clarksburg?
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're one of the original pepperoni roll makers.
Oh. Did they sponsor WVU games?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, I can't remember. I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
either, but if it says Clarksburg on, I know who it is. So
Okay.
I get them.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Anyway,
Coy, how you doing this evening, bud?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be on here. Appreciate you guys having me.
Well, I figured we're getting into archery season. It'd be great to have you on to talk about more on the traditional side of archery. And,
Perfect.
And your product, because it falls right in line with it. I mean, basically, that's one of the things that you created them for, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you
Started,
can,
go ahead.
just give us a little background on you first, and then we'll go into the background of the company, how it was started.
Alrighty, I'm just your average guy. Started bow hunting at a young age, and then after a while, I got kind of tired of shooting a compound. Guy at work brought in a recurve that he had bought at a yard sale, and I traded him something for it, and then started shooting that. Shot it horribly, and from there, I moved up to a better bow, shot that really good, and got into the traditional archery part of it, as a lot of guys do.
So I'm just going to throw this in there. You're not an average guy if you can kill a deer with a recurve. It's not that simple, in my opinion.
Well, that's what I was going to ask, because I want to get into archery. We've talked about this. Yeah. I've been wanting to get into it for at least a year now. I don't want to spend $3,000 on a bow or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, or $1,000 on a bow. But I mean, I'm like, is it fairly simple to kill one with a recurve? Is I guess my question, because everybody talks about compounds.
It is not simple, in my opinion, and it's just me. I can shoot instinctively, but
so it's all instinctive. There's no peep or nothing.
There's nothing.
Right. Okay.
I don't shoot instinctively all the time.
Yeah.
but if I had to, I could do it.
Yeah.
I'm primarily compound. I love compound bows.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really all I've ever shot. I started out shooting, I guess it was what you would call a recurve, but it was kind of like, it was fiberglass. It was almost.
Was
like,
it a long bow?
It was a long bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I had. I had a fiberglass long bow.
Yeah, it was fiberglass, and I started out with that. But I mean, go ahead, Coy. Tell him,
we keep talking.
Tell him about it.
It is not as hard as you think. There are different aiming techniques that you can use. There are a lot of guys that can shoot instinctive. I cannot.
Oh, wow.
That's how I started shooting instinctive. And you get out there and you think, okay, you just pick a spot, you burn a hole in that spot, and you shoot and your arrow hits it. That's not how it was for me. It was terrible. You're at the point where, okay, I quit. I'm going back to my compound.
Yeah.
It's got sight pins on it. I can aim it. But there are a lot of techniques. I'm actually a gap shooter, so I will use the tip of my arrow as a sight pin.
Oh, okay.
So that gets you lined up left to right. You're kind of looking at that arrow tip in your peripheral, and you're picking your spot. You know the gap at certain distances, and then you just use that arrow as a sight pin.
Now,
and it makes it a whole lot easier.
Yeah, I have. I think I've done that a couple times. But my biggest thing I think that helped me was string walking my fingers for yardages. Do you do that?
Yep. That's how I figured out that I couldn't shoot instinctive, and I read a little article about string walking, so I'm like, well, I'll try this. So I went to string walking. With string walking, you actually move your finger down the string, use your point of your arrow as a sight, and then you always put the tip of your arrow where you want to hit on the target, but you have to remember to move your fingers for that known distance.
Yes.
So first year, I shot all summer like that. First year, giant 8-pointer comes by 15 yards, and I throw my fingers up there right up against the shaft and shoot about 3 feet over his back because I did not account for that string walking distance.
Oh, yeah.
So I just went back to the gap shooting.
Okay.
Where I just hold the tip of that arrow. I would hold the tip of that arrow low, knowing where it's going to hit at 15 yards.
Yeah.
It just made much more sense to me.
It's been a long time since I've done that, but when I did it, I started out with 3 fingers under, and I would go like say if I needed to go one more finger down, then I just pictured in my mind and knew where that yardage was.
Yep.
When I'd shot it. So that's something that you have to account for, like he's saying. You'd have to exactly know or about within a yard or two where that animal's at. And it's all varies on angles.
So you're knocking your arrow lower?
No, your arrow still goes in the same position. You just hold your fingers lower.
So your fingers are under the arrow. And
you're walking your fingers down the string.
And that makes it shoot different? Shoot a different yardage?
So when you pull that back and your pointer finger meets the crook of your mouth.
Yes.
Your arrow knock may be at your eyeball.
Oh, I got it.
You know what I mean?
It's like adjusting a rear sight up and down on a gun to make the barrel or the front sight move up and down on your target.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Got it. Wow.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I would try that. You know, my oldest daughter, she's really good. She instinctively shoots, and she's good.
Yeah, that's how they start them out with the Genesis, is right.
Yes. She's got a Genesis, and she's bullseyes all day. She's got trophies and stuff.
That's awesome.
I just never,
Me neither.
Never any good at that. Just pulling it up and can't do it.
All right, Coy. So
anyway.
tell us about some of the products that you all offer.
So the Stiktamer came about as necessity. Basically, they sell these things. They still sell them. They go on your string. That was called a brush button, and that would go on your string. You'd slide that up where the limb would meet the string, called the string crease. And that little brush button would keep, when you're walking through tall grass or whatever and through the woods, everything catches in that string crease.
Yeah.
So they put these brush buttons on there to keep it from doing that. And when you're sitting in your tree stand, nobody's holding their bow all day. So you hang that bow on a peg. Well, without that brush button, man, the weight of that bow would dig into your bow holder, and you'd go to pick your bow up and it would be jammed in there. You could barely get your bow off of there.
Wow.
So I'm sitting there trying to think of a better way. And because even with the brush buttons, the brush button would slide up the string from the weight of the bow, and then it would cause issues. So I thought I need something I could stick to the limb so it doesn't move, but does the same thing as a brush button, but better. So a guy I worked with knew another guy, and he was using this foam material, that rubber foam material. So I got with him. I came up with a design on the CAD at work. I'm a machinist, and came up with a design. We came up with some prototypes. I started shooting them, trying to wear them out, see if this material was going to last. And the first drawing I came up with is still the original.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope. So we didn't change a thing.
That's awesome. That doesn't happen very often.
No, usually you're tweaking a lot.
Yes.
Which string silencers, I sell a string silencer that slides on the string through a hole in the center, comes with a cotter pin. And I also sell these little brush guard, or these string groove pads. Same thing, comes with a cotter pin. You actually slide the string through the center of them.
Yep.
And on a recurve bow, they'll lay right in that string groove, where when you're shooting and that string slaps the limb, it makes quite a bit of noise. So the Stiktamer deadens that string slap. Those string groove pads deaden the string slap. And then the silencers, I must have came up with 100 different silencers. And we would make them, and they were horrible. But once you come up with a good design and it works, well, you get these things on there, and you can just slide them up and down on the string till you find the sweet spot on your bow where they work the best, and then they'll just stay right there.
Wow. I think that it's going to be.
So I got a question, Coy, while he's doing that.
Go ahead.
So what do you have, like is it bad to ask him what recurve like brand he suggests?
No.
If you're getting into it?
No.
Okay. We can talk about brands on here.
I know what brand, and he's got a good one.
Okay. Go ahead, Coy.
There are so many brands
They
of
are.
recurves. If you're just getting started, I mean, I don't know if it's still called the Samick Sage, Samick Samick or IK, I believe.
Okay.
But they make a very nice recurve bow, and it's probably $150.
Okay.
But I just got a Black Widow PSR, which I think Black Widow's top of the line. If you're going to get a custom recurve,
It is.
that is the place to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in my opinion.
And
I mean, there are probably other guys and there's a lot of excellent bows out there, but I'm just a Black Widow guy.
So at that time that we started, I'm trying to figure out where Tim found you. I'm thinking that it was Lancaster, but it may not have been. It may have been.
It was not.
It was it one of the forums online?
It probably was. The Leather Wall was
Okay.
one of the forums I would get on there a lot and talk about stuff. And I used to have my own website where I would sell individual, packs and ship them out, and it just became too much. So now I just go through several different other businesses where I can just sell them a couple hundred at a time and let them ship them out, and I don't have to go through all that.
Yeah,
That's nice.
No, I don't blame you. That's a great idea.
Well,
But it
Coy.
was-
So go ahead.
No, I know. Sorry.
No, you're
We're
fine.
going to take a break here in a minute. But that was, I've done lost my train of thought now.
I'm sorry.
Go to break.
It's my fault. It's my fault. Coy, we're going to hear from one of our sponsors. We'll be right back, all right?
This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Longspur Tracking and Outfitting. Longspur has 28 trackers covering 9 states: West Virginia, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Illinois, and Iowa. Check them out for all your tracking needs on their Facebook page or visit them at www.whitetaildeertracking.com or contact them today at 304-439-1659. Longspur Tracking and Outfitting, www.whitetaildeertracking.com or 304-439-1659. Contact them today. All right, guys, welcome back to On the Limb podcast with Nature's Voice Game Calls. We've got Coy Burns from Stiktamer. He's owner and operator of Stiktamer. We're in our archery segment, so we're talking a little bit about archery. One of the things that I was going to ask Coy before I was so rudely interrupted.
I don't know who did that. Who interrupted him?
No, I'm just kidding. Dave was helping out. He's like, man, it's 15 minutes. We got to do an ad. Let's go. Anyways, I think one of the key points where he found you was with Black Widow or something that connected it there because he was a big Black Widow fan as well.
Yep. Also, Three Rivers Archery. They're probably, one of the biggest traditional archery suppliers that I know of.
Were they selling your products
they were
back
actually,
then?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Were they selling your products back then?
Yeah.
Okay. That may have been where it was because they primarily cater towards the traditional archer, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're a pretty big company. That was actually the first company I had contacted, told them I had a product. They said, send us some samples. So sent some samples over there. Actually sent the Stiktamers and my first original design for a string silencer. And they were interested in the Stiktamers, not the string silencers, but they sell, probably 50 different. There's so many string silencers out there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of competition there, and they just didn't have room.
It's kind of funny that there's so many different accessories in that. You would think that there wouldn't be that many. There would only be a select few because of its less in popularity, I guess. But there's really a hidden number of people that do it that really don't talk about it much, I think.
No, in my mind, I see it as a very small market.
Yeah.
But apparently there's more people out there than we realize.
Yeah.
I remember reading on one of the forums where one of the older guys had said that, these Stiktamers are just a little thing. They'll last for about a year and then people will forget about them. And there's probably been a lot of little products that happen that way. Mm-hmm. But here I am 12, 13 years later, and I'm still selling them. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know how.
That's awesome.
But people love them. People love them.
Yeah, it's a good thing. I think it's great. Well, let's do our salute to Valor. So our salute to Valor this evening is Stephen O'Neill, born in Pittsfield, Massachusetts. He was raised in Richmond, Virginia, and Raleigh, North Carolina. He served in the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Air Force Reserve. He was a major. He was an 04. 20, let's see here, years served. So he served, they did this, they did the dates weird on this thing. So I guess it's 27 years.
Wow. Air Force is one of those branches, man. You can last. It's not as.
So bases that he served at was Vandenberg Air Force Base in California, Grand Forks Air Force Base in North Dakota, Cosmo Air Force Station in Sicily, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one's in Dayton.
Flores Air Force Base in Belgium, Florence. Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio again. Number of tours, Let's see here. Air Force Achievement Medals, numerous ones of those. Air Force Accommodation Medals, Air Force Meritorious Service Medals. Let's see. And he retired in 2001.
Nice.
So,
Good for him.
Yep. He went to, we started bringing down the information that we asked for. That when we started it, we thought that was like not too much, but we've had some recommendations to bring that down a little bit and just get the basics.
Okay.
And then have them add, anything else that they would like
Yeah,
to add.
yeah, that they'd like to add. Yeah, absolutely.
Most of it's public knowledge anyways, but
yes.
you kind of got to go do a little digging to find it. So,
Mm-hmm.
But he offered a lot of extra information. So
That's great.
New York State University is where he went to school. He received a commission via ROTC program there. He was on the ROTC scholarship program for, final 2 years. He graduated with a bachelor's in economics and a bachelor's in business management. Also was commissioned second lieutenant on May 12th of 79. Minuteman missile launch officer at Grand Forks, North Dakota. Set 75 feet underground and waited for Ronald Reagan to call. That's what he said. And fortunately for all of us, he never did.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Oh,
Waited for Ronald Reagan to call.
So he was initially 36 launch officers. That's what was ground launched cruise missiles system deployed in Europe. 1980s in combat over in the Soviet Union, deployed on their SS-20s. Let's see here.
Well traveled.
A lot of traveling.
Huh.
The Intermediate Nuclear Force Treaty. He was a part of that after we won that in 1987.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
That is cool.
He's got a lot of great information here. He's done a lot of stuff in his life, and I mean, for him to be able to live through that and do those things, it's awesome. Air Force Institute of Technology at Wright-Patterson from 85 to 86, and he earned his master's degree in logistics management.
Wow.
Nice.
So, got a lot of degrees there, too.
That's awesome.
But thank you, Stephen O'Neill, for your service, sir.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, I mean, awesome service there. Thank you so much. All right, Coy, so let's get back to Stiktamer. Tell us about that new dealer that you got. We was just talking about that earlier.
Yep, I want to give a shout out. That's Randy Cooling, and he is the owner of Safari Tough Outdoors. You can go to his website and pick up Stiktamers through him. He's always been a huge, huge fan. When we first started out, we'd get on these forums, we'd ask for pictures, of guys with kills that have Stiktamers on their bows, and man, he would flood us. This guy has killed polar bear, grizzly bear.
Really?
He has hunted all over the world.
Nice.
And he has killed a lot of animals with his Black Widow.
that name sounds familiar. Is he like pretty well known?
He in the traditional archery community, he is.
Okay.
He is. He's a cool guy. Randy Cooling. Yep. And I also want to give a shout out, if I can, to one of my dearest friends, Peyton Cochran. He is a graphic designer. When I first started this thing, I kind of went to him, and he didn't hesitate at all. He spent so much time helping me out, making all of my, he came up with the logo, did all my packaging, helped me build that website when I had the website going.
Nice.
And he's just been a huge supporter. And I just want to tell him thanks and how much I appreciate him.
Yeah, he did that graphic with our call, and you had the striker there with the striker grip too, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought. That was awesome.
Yep, he does excellent work.
He sure does. So what's your plans this year? When does your all's heritage season open up there in Ohio?
It would be September 28th. I think in Ohio it goes from September to, I think, February 2nd of this year.
Do they call it a heritage season, or what do they call it?
No, it is just it's just open during archery season.
Oh, okay.
Same as compounds, same as the crossbows.
Yeah. I think that's the way they do it here, but they have a season called heritage season. And I think that's for muzzleloaders or like hammerlocks or something like that.
Huh, I don't know.
Yeah, the flintlocks.
Flintlock, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's for those. But you want to hit that scripture?
I sure do. Pull my string. I'll talk about a scripture.
You put a string and talk.
Yeah. Okay, so tonight, what I was thinking was we could read a few verses, and, I'm not really going to comment on them. Just to read them, and I'm going to read them out of the Passion Translation, and I guess we can just think about it.
Of course.
Yeah. Oh, he got you.
He got me?
Of course.
Is your name Dan? This guy, man, I can't with y'all.
That's how you know you got a true listener right there.
That's the deal right there. Okay, well, thanks, Coy. I appreciate
more that brotherly love we were talking about
it
earlier.
is. It is, man. I feel like we've been brothers forever. We fight like brothers already. All right, so. All right. Well, this is out of 1 Corinthians 13, and I'm going to read 4 through 7, okay? And we were talking earlier. It was more like just kind of a gaffe, but just talking about...
Really? 4 through 7? Do you want me to get over on the floor and set Indian style like I'm in preschool?
Listen, man. Listen. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. And that's what I was saying. I didn't want to take a whole lot of time talking about it. I just wanted to read it so people could hear it.
Let's go.
All right. So all right. So this is the love scriptures. And so if you want to know what love is, real love, this is kind of where you find it. So love is large and incredibly patient. Love is gentle and consistently kind to all. It refuses to be jealous when blessing comes to somebody else. Love does not brag about one's achievements nor inflate its own importance. Love does not traffic in shame and disrespect, nor selfishly seek its own honor. Love is not easily irritated or quick to take offense. Love joyfully celebrates honesty and finds no delight in what is wrong. Love is a safe place of shelter, for it never stops believing the best for others. Love never takes failure as defeat, for it never gives up.
Some good stuff right there.
That is good stuff, man. I mean, you could take one of those things about love and just think about it all day and not get to the end of it.
All day?
I'm just telling you.
For the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to work on a few of those.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
I mean, that's one of the deepest parts of the Christian walk, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, other than your relationship with Christ, obviously.
That's what separates us from all the other religions, I think, is the love of God. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean,
it's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yep.
And I struggle with a lot of those things. I mean, Dave struggles with a lot of them.
What? I mean, it's true, but come on, man.
It is. It is very true.
My gosh.
That's one of the hardest things to do as a Christian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Well, I say Christian, but I mean, as your walk with God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's one of the hardest things to do because it's so easy to get mad if somebody does something, just the smallest of anything.
I know.
If you've had a bad day and somebody does the smallest little thing, it's so easy to flip off.
I tell you, I'll tell you the thing really that gets you too is when you really are close to somebody. Those are the ones that seems like they can aggravate you the most. You know, like your wife says something, she may not mean nothing by it, and it's just like, well, what'd you mean by that?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or your buddy Dave. Dave.
Oh man!
Yep.
Gosh, I wish he lived close.
my God.
Oh man,
That's funny.
daggone.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Sugar in the gas
hate to
tank. I'm just kidding.
Hate to keep
What?
beating the dead horse, but
Yeah.
it is a tough thing to do.
Yeah.
You
Oh
know?
yeah. Yeah. It is. It is.
And that's one of the things that I think would make our country back to the way it was, is for all of us just to realize that everybody's human.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There may be a lot of things out there that we don't agree with, but I seen this post today that somebody was talking about, and this guy, I don't know where this guy lives at, but he had made a comment about former President Trump, and he said that he wished that would have came through. That wasn't happened.
Yeah. What happened at the? I saw that a couple times.
And this has been going around all over.
People were like, he had one job and he missed. That
Yeah.
kind of thing.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Where does that? I just can't even fathom that myself.
No.
As much as I don't agree with some of the things that our government does and our government officials and leaders and things like that, I don't say that about those.
No.
The Bible tells us that we are specifically supposed to pray
Well, actually, yeah.
for those in leadership
Absolutely.
and the ones that.
Well, it actually says pray for your enemies too.
Yeah, it
Even if
does.
somebody was your stark enemy, you're
It
supposed to
does.
pray for
You're
them.
supposed to, yeah.
That's kind of
Pray
crazy.
for those people that are saying that,
Yeah.
because they probably don't mean it, but
Yeah.
but they
They
still
don't know what
say
they're
it.
saying. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just not something that you should say.
Yeah, well,
Right, right.
that's the thing. They haven't been taught, haven't been raised up in a culture or that kind of environment.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
environment can change your whole outlook on everything
Absolutely.
and the way that you're raised. So,
Yeah, Coy, you're right though. We should be praying for him.
yeah.
That's
Yep.
right. That's good.
So, have you ever killed a turkey with your bow, your recurve?
Oh, you got to bring that up, don't you? Did somebody tell you to ask me that?
I did. I said, ask him about turkeys. I really want to get under his skin.
Oh man, I have missed so many turkeys with that bow. I'm telling you, man, that is my number one nemesis. Is that I just can't do it. Like, they just move too much. Their heads bob around.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to hit the body. I've hit so many feathers and lopped feathers off, and
Man.
thanks for that. I gotta go. Bye.
He's gonna go cry. Well, I mean, a lot of people do it, but I've heard of a lot of people using crossbows. On turkey.
Anybody can do it with a crossbow, but
Yeah. We won't get into that.
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean,
No, really, it's the
recurve. Yeah,
the crossbow thing. It's becoming more and more
prevalent.
But if you're a true archer or archery enthusiast, you really don't like the crossbow. In my opinion. Is that the way you see it, Coy?
Unless you have a physical issue with being able to pull back
unless you
a
have
string.
a physical disability, and that's mainly the reason why they were created. Maybe in this day and time, there were crossbows back in the days, like they made them out of sticks and stuff. I don't know the particular purposes for those and why they done that, but nowadays it's like using a gun. When you were making it back then out of a stick and a string, and
It was still pretty inaccurate.
it was still just like shooting a recurve.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like shooting a rifle.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have, the speeds.
Yeah, I don't even know
things.
what the FPS is on them things,
Oh,
man,
my
but it's high.
Gosh,
Yeah.
it's outrageous. I mean, I haven't looked in a long time, but I think, and you can correct me on this, Coy, because you're in this industry, you know a lot more about this, but what is the highest FPS right now on a compound bow that you know of? Isn't it up in like 400s?
I have no idea. You've got me on that one.
I think it's somewhere in the 400s.
It probably is.
Somebody
I
can
mean,
comment on that. If
several
you
years
want.
ago,
So
they were in the
crossbows,
350s. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you shoot a light enough arrow with a heavy poundage bow, I imagine you probably get 400 feet per second.
Every bit of it.
So crossbows are probably in the sixes, maybe.
And I've never shot under 100 grain. I've always.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I've always stayed around 100 grain, even on my broadheads and everything. Include with that. All
Anyway.
right, Coy. Anything else you want to hit on? Any other shout-outs you want to give before we get off of here and let you go? Enjoy your evening.
Just the 3, probably the Safari Tough, Black Widow Bows, and 3 Rivers Archery.
All right.
Check those places out, man.
Yep.
Good people.
Awesome.
Good people.
You heard him right there. Every time we play the Stiktamer ad, we will tag the 3 Rivers Archery and the Black Widow Bows on the Facebook page because you can go there and get his products. So be sure you check them out, and be sure to check out the Safari Outdoors there.
Safari Tough, yeah.
Safari Tough Outdoors. That's the newest one. All right, Coy. Well, we sure appreciate it, man. This is the first time you've been on. How was your experience?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was great for me too, Coy.
That's great.
He just sided right in with you guys, I tell you.
Yep.
That's all right.
No,
I'll win him over. I'm going to win you over, man. You're going to be on my side. It's going to be 2-on-2.
We'll equal the forces.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
All right, buddy. Well, you enjoy the rest of your evening, and we sure appreciate you and everything that you've done for us and helped us over the years. You are a true friend, and, you know, like I said earlier, I said we've been together so long and working with each other and just talk to each other, wish each other happy birthday and different things like that, and, you know, I consider you family. I sure appreciate you over the years.
I appreciate it, man. You guys have done you've done way more for me than I've done for you, but
Oh, come on now.
I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Well,
All right, we'll be seeing you guys.
okay, thanks again. Have a good evening.
You
All
too.
All right, guys, be sure you go there and check them out at Safari Tough Outdoors, 3 Rivers Archery, and blackwidowbows.com. Like I said, every time we post that or you hear the ad on our show, we'll post those tags there on Facebook so you can go right to those links. But everything we talked about this evening will be in our links when we post to Apple Music, Spotify, Google, and Amazon Music, and YouTube. Yep. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in this evening. And don't forget, if you go to Apparition Scents, deer season's right around the corner. So if you go to apparitionsense.com, use On the Limb, and you will get 20% off your order. If you go to outdoor-pro-shop.com, you can use Podcast 10, get 10% off your order there. And on our Nature's Voice Game Calls website, you can use Podcast 15 and get 15% off there. So please visit those websites out and get you some products for deer season. It's not that far away. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching on Facebook. Y'all have a good evening. Are you looking for that European or craft beer culture? Breathe Wine and Culture Company, where your wine and craft beer culture thrives. Located in Cross Lanes, West Virginia, and coming soon to downtown Huntington, West Virginia. The Breathe Wine and Culture Company offers over 150 types of craft beer, extensive wine choices, thoughtful gifts, and even grab-and-go food options, as well as specialized catering. Shop local, shop small for a unique experience. You can check them out on their Facebook page or give them a call today at 304-823-4577. Breathe Wine and Culture Company, 304-823-4577.